Yeah, the reason it took so long is we only had Signari as our main DPS. If we had better DPS, or if he was a better DPS, then we could have done it quicker, but whatever. I hate people like that. Like, are you kidding me? You wait the entire time, like, and then swap. Like, dude, we need a healer. If you have a Fiorina, you need a healer. You were a healer. Be a fucking healer. Why the fuck would you swap? Like, we were our perfect party like that, but then they're like, no, I want to be completely fucking stupid. And I get it, right? Like, she's new, so I get why a lot of people want to like show her off or whatever. But it's like, just fucking be the healer. Like, we had a good party. If you're gonna be dumb about it, and like in Zhao, like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, if you have to select the DPS, Zhao is literally the worst one you could pick because he'd be like Hu Tao, but Hu Tao at least is powerful and can heal herself. Zhao cannot. Zhao sucks. He cannot heal himself, so you'd be forcing Fiorina to be the only fucking healer. Yeah. Like, I'm not above being a healer, right? Why? Why? Like,
I know Garland just kind of said, hey, none of our guys are good enough at punching. Let's make a giant robot that specializes in punching. One of the things one of the worst Garland mechs ever, and they've got some bad ones. So instead of shooting the rockets out of the rocket, he's just punching. It doesn't make any sense. Worst robot ever. I'll think a chance somewhere. As a healer, I feel it would be a little uncouth to drag things into the tank. But I don't feel so bad as the DPS does it. Oh no. The tank's not gonna pick these up, huh?
Okay, well, I'll just find someone who actually is not completely fucking retarded. Like, just be the character you were. Like, why would you swap? Like, it's mind-boggling that you're that dumb. Like, just you had like what was wrong with Raiden? You're gonna swap to like Jin Yang? It's like Jin Yang sucks. She sucks. She really, really sucks. And you want to, if you like her, fine, play her. Like, I'm not saying don't ever play characters you like. What I am saying, when you're co-oping with people, don't fucking troll people with your stupid choices.
That's all we've got for that's just that. It just feels a little bit sad. You gotta respect the somebody trying to do anything possible just to get the run. But I mean, to be fair, even for a slow run of Dome Castle, we're still like, we're only a little bit over 10 minutes. This ain't even that bad. Any done to be clear in under 15 minutes, I would consider it a success.
It's just like, yeah, it's just like, come on, dude. Like, I can solo this. It's just slightly more fun to do it with other people. It's slightly more active and stuff. Like,
What that means is if there's a group where somebody left or got kicked, you can join that group. I forgot it wasn't on like allegedly that's how you
They, oh, I see. They're swapping their active character, even though it doesn't matter whatsoever what your active character is. Yeah, sure. It's like it's the default one you bring in, but
I don't think there's really anything interesting about this fight. It's just
it's just, it's just like, yeah, just we need a healer. If you're gonna do anything in co-op, bring a healer. You don't need a healer. That's what some people will say. Oh, you don't need a healer. It's like you don't need one, but without one, you need everyone not to suck. Like, you need everyone to have their characters built. You need everyone to be able to dodge and not be completely stupid. Like, don't take damage. Don't take avoidable damage. You have to be able to, you know, eat your food to heal yourself. Because if you don't, then you're fucked. So it's just like, yeah.
Didn't even break my shield. So yeah, if you want to have fun playing ARR, you're not going to.
Yeah, you just need a healer. Like, that's just flat out how it is. And it just makes things go so much quicker. Like, if there's a Fiorina in the team, you 100% need a healer. Because Fiorina does her best when she doesn't have to. When Fiorina doesn't have to heal, that's when she does her best. Yeah, sure, I'll pop on a heal, you know, if there's nothing better to do. Because, like, she's for Hydro application, obviously, so you don't really need to do it. If, like, with Nuvolut's doing his burst, sure, I can swap to a heal real quick. And then once I see my health is once I see everyone's health is topped off, I'll swap out. But yeah, I mean, it's just kind of annoying when you just see all these people essentially trolling, because that's what they're doing. Like, they were someone who didn't suck, but they're like, no, I'm going to do Jing Yang. Why? Who knows? No actual reason for it. They're just kind of being a dick. And, you know, it's like, and then obviously this team is much, much better. See, there we go. Nice and easy. When you get people who just don't want to suck. And then and Jess was the one who swapped to the stupid character. It's just like, really? And I'm like, because I was like, yeah, why did you swap to this character? Like, it's not like it's a amount of like, because you could be like, oh well, come on, it's fun, it's just, you know, have fun. But it's like, I've been in parties where they suck, and because they suck, they die. Because essentially, people who don't know who the good co-op characters are or good party comps are usually people who actually suck, like who are new, don't know the game, or just know the game but still suck at it, right? And those are the people who are going to die mid-fight, and then you have to cover everything yourself, and you have to do everything yourself, and that's not fun because you just get fucked. You just, actually, oh no, yeah, it's talent domain. So like they'll be the ones who die. They'll be the ones who don't have characters at a high enough level. They'll be. Which one do I want more? Actually, I'm not sure. Fuck it, I'll just do this one. So yeah, it's a little frustrating because it's just like all you have to do is not be an asshole, right? Just go in, pick a decent character, pick a character you have built well, and a good character that you have built well, And you can be like, oh, well, what if that Jinyan is the only one they have? It's like, we saw them with the Raiden. Like, a poorly built Raiden is still better than, I think a poorly built Raiden would still have probably been better than a very well built Jinyan. Because, like, you have to be like C6, a C6 4-star, just to be kind of comparable to a C0 5-star in like power, but then it's about utility, and it's like Jinyan has a shield. I can't remember if the shield applies to everyone in the party or if it's just her. But let's assume that it applies to everyone in the party, right? Just even still, it's not a great shield. It requires you to be around a lot of enemies to get the strongest shield that can apply, that can like radiate pyro. So it's like if you don't get 2 or 3 enemies in that skill usage, you don't get your shield doesn't radiate pyro. So it's just purely a shield, which is not bad, but like it's also going to be weaker. It doesn't have any pyro application. And then and the other thing too is her burst and her skill don't really mesh well together. Her skill is defense based. Her burst is attack based. So you have multiple scaling. So either one's gonna suck and the other's gonna be good, or vice versa, right? It's just that's how it's gonna be. Either the skill's gonna suck because you maxed out attack, or her burst is gonna suck because you maxed out defense. And so it's just like, yeah. And that's the character they thought, hey, I'll bring that into co-op. It's like, why? Like, it's just, you're trolling at that point. You might as well just, like, you don't have to be meta, but you could just not be a dick about it. You know, you could pick a character that doesn't absolutely suck. And it's not like she absolutely sucks, but like, it's just because of the multi-scaling, she's just going to suck at something. Whereas, like, there are other 4-star supports. Like, if you want to do Bennett, you want to do Xingqiu, you want to do Zhang Ling, you want to do other 4-star supports. Like, we had a Kuki in one of our ones. Now, it was also a super slow run because we didn't have any actual DPS for it, other than the Tignari, which I assume wasn't built well because of how long it took to kill. But either way, like, we still had a Kuki, and I didn't get pissed at them because like Kuki's good at what she does. She's a good healer and electro applicator, which is perfect for Tignari. But like Jinyan, like we already had like we had 3 Hydro. So it's like, oh, I'm gonna do Pyro. It's like, yeah, Vaporize is good, but like that's literally like one of the worst Vaporize persons you could pick. Like literally, like I'm not even like being figurative here. Like she's literally the worst Pyro unit you could have for Vaporize damage. Simply because her only way to apply Pyro is hitting enemies with her skill, which is Pyro, or hitting them with their burst. But most of the damage from her burst comes from a physical attack. It's a slight little bit of Pyro damage and a huge big physical hit. So, sure, the Pyro part will Vaporize, but the modifier for it is so ridiculously small that even with the Vaporize multiplier, it doesn't do shit. So it's like it's just bad. It's just not a good choice. So that's just kind of, it's just frustrating, right? Because it's just like, and some people might say, oh, it's gatekeepy, but it's just like, they were a character that meshed well, and they swapped to a shitty one. And then, it wasn't like a meme or anything, they just like left on it. Come on, dude, like don't be a dick. Like, it's just a dick move. Because like, here's my Jinyan. I would mostly attack. I was actually, obviously I could have changed her and made her better. But, yeah, like it's a personal buff for her. It's a personal buff for her burst. So, this is useful, oh, if you hit them, physical resistance shred. But we were an all Hydro party. We were a Furina and 2 Hydro Catalyst users, so physical resistance is meaningless. And a personal buff for her. So essentially, this would be a personal buff for her since technically Furina does physical damage with her normal hits, but like this is mainly for for her. So it's like, it's a very selfish kit. And it's just like, yeah, when you do her absorption, she only gets that little pyro dot when you hit. Technically it's 3. I mean, technically it's 2, but in reality it's 3. But she has a passive that reduces it down to 2. But she'd have to hit 2 enemies to have a pyro dot. So the skill itself only applies pyro on use, and then she would have radiate pyro every like few seconds or something if she hit 2 enemies. But like against bosses, like that's not helpful, like at all, because oftentimes we're only. I mean, especially. Wait, did they? I forget which one it was. Against the whale, it's completely useless because we only ever fight one at a time. Against the epep, technically there's the middle phase, the add phase, which this could help with, but like not useful, especially since the first and third phase is what actually is harder. So it's just like it's not helpful, it's not useful. And then this one is just, yeah, sure, it does. Yeah, hyping the guy and deals pyro damage. So this is an AoE pyro, but like as you can see, the pyro dot for it, 68%. So getting a vaporized multiplier on that is nothing compared to like the actual damage of the almost 600% damage that she would do from her physical hit. So it's just like it's selfish. You're just kind of if you pick her in a co-op party, unless it like is a really good match, like there are ways to do it, but like essentially, she would be good if she was in a physical team, because if you hit with her skill, you reduce physical resistance. She does most of her damage is from physical. So if you had her and Eula and maybe, actually no, because you'd want Cryo and Electro as well to get the superconduct. But with Jin Yan, the problem with her is that when she does her skill, she's going to apply pyro. So you could supplant the reaction, essentially. You could then create melts and overloads instead of doing what you want, which would be a superconduct to lower the physical resistance. It's a bad team. It's not good. They should not have picked it. It's not helpful for the team. You're basically, I mean, I would argue that you're just trolling at that point, especially because they had a Raiden. Like, it's not like they came in with a Jin Yang and they have literally no one else to do. It's like, no, they came in with a Raiden. Could have been a Raiden, even Raiden's, especially because, like, Raiden's Electro application is amazing. There we go, killed her. So yeah. Generally that's kind of the only thing I kind of get pissed at. You're going into co-op. Could you maybe not actively be an asshole? Because it would have been I could have just treated it like a meme, a joke, if they were just like, oh no, they swapped to her. Because there definitely are times when because of the disconnect between parties, or because of the disconnect between teams. Oh my fucking god, he's fucking tag team. That's so fucking dog shit. I fucking hate that shit. Whatever. But yeah, Obviously, that's annoying, right? It's like if you're going to be in a party, if you're going to co-op this shit, like, be cooperative. Like, you were... Because, I mean, that was the first time, too. Is the guy was a healer in a team that we needed a healer. Like, we had a Fiorina, and he's sitting there. We had a perfect party comp. Like, all he had to do was click continue. And what did he do? He swapped off and went to Zhao. And I don't know, maybe he was like looking through his characters or something. Maybe he was looking through his characters and was like, because I think he was kind of in thinking stage, so maybe he didn't notice what the party comp was. I do think that is an annoying thing about Genshin, is that when you're in the co-op party menu, you're swapping to another character. I wish that there would be like little insignias in the character selection screen showing your party members' characters. So like when you're trying to select someone, you can see, oh, here are my 3 party members. Here are the characters they are at the moment, and which update it real time. So like if they finish, like if you both go in, start deciding something, and they finish and decide first, you would then see it update in your character selection screen somewhere, like just out of the way. So you could see, oh shit, like they went from this character to this character. Because like that happened. Like I think I went to Raiden, someone else went to Raiden. It's like, yeah, but like I went to Raiden first, but like he came out later as Raiden. It's like, well, if he had seen my little menu and was like, oh shit, you're Raiden? Okay, I won't be Raiden then. Then that would have been cool. Hello, how's it going? Shit. Crap, which one of these did I do last time? Oh no, I think I did all of them. Yeah, that was it. That's why I select. I think last time they were all... I had to do them in sequence. I'm good. I'm just ranting a little bit. When I do my weeklies, when I do some of my weeklies, I do them co-op because it just makes it a little more fun. Some of them are a little more boring if you do it by yourself. But the problem with doing them co-op is that there are other people. And so I had to deal with a party who changed their character to something incredibly stupid. And you're just like, why? Why did you swap to that? Like, they have no synergy with the team. They're sucky as a character. Like, you're just trolling us at this point by just going out of your way to be a really bad choice. Yeah. This is Fontaine. All of this is the second area that was unlocked. That's pretty cool up there. You can actually go up there. And the super cool thing about these things is that you're like, oh, they're cubes. Yes, they are cubes. Cubes of water that you can swim in. Whee! And then when you swim out, you fall to your death. Ah! Whee! Anyway. Yeah, it's really cool. It's very pretty. This is mostly like the second area is mostly wilderness, so it's a lot of scenic shit like that. The first area had more buildings and stuff. It looks very a European French style architecture. Still is very pretty, but that's why this game is so popular, because it looks very pretty. It's fun to wander around and do stuff. What am I supposed to do here? Look for the object. What is an object? There's something. Oh, is it that? Is it an object? Ah, there's an object. And this is only the third area. Or this is only the second area. So this chunk here was the first. Then we got this little section up here. And then we got this section over here. This whole circular part. And it's all pretty cool. Look at that nice, pretty tree. At night too. Wow, it's very picturesque. But that's not what I'm here for. So yeah, that's why this game is so fun. It's a lot of fun to explore. They have a good amount of random shit to find in the world, so it kind of feeds your dopamine center of your brain. You're like always finding something, or just enjoying the scenery. Yeah, I would definitely recommend playing it if you haven't. One, because it's free. That's always cool. So they've been playing. It's been running for 3 years' time so far, and so essentially it's 3 years worth of content. Every 6 weeks they have a new patch that introduces something. They have events going on all the time, but like when I said that was the first area, second area type thing. Like the first area was like the 4.0 patch. It released that entire area. 4.1 patch released the second area. The most recent patch released another place a part in Leeway. It's not always like every 6 weeks is a new area every single time. Sometimes it's just like an interesting event or something. I mean, there's always an event in every single patch, but sometimes it just revolves around exploring existing areas. So, but yeah, there's a shitload of stuff to do. Because like that's just, zoom out. I mean, this is just one country. But then we have Sumeru down here, and then we get into Leeway. This is the new area of Leeway that was I mean, I can see that. Like, I definitely do understand that. Like, I've been playing since the game released, so for me it's a lot easier because like I have a lot of characters. I have a lot of they're all built, and I actually tried to make a free-to-play account. Because I was like, oh, let's see how, because I have spent money on Wishes and the Welkin Moon and all that shit. So I have done that. So it's like, okay, I'm obviously not completely free to play. So I thought, okay, well, let's see how how much is it, how good is the game if I tried to go free to play. And so I created another character in another server, and it just kind of sucked because like you're just like. I mean, it's not like bad. Like if it's your first time, like if I could like wipe my memory and do it, it wouldn't be that bad. But like knowing how powerful my characters can be, and then you have a lot of time to collect shit. But like knowing how powerful your characters are at level 80 with all your traces or all your talents, with your 5-star artifacts, your talents leveled up, and then trying to do a free to play account at that point. It sucks because like your characters feel so weak. You're just like, god damn, like they're just so weak. You can't level them up. The artifacts all suck. I mean, that will obviously restrict you. So, where's the? It depends on what you do. Like and a little bit also depends on your mentality too. Like, because I think with spending no money whatsoever, assuming you're like playing. You're doing your dailies every single time, doing all the events and shit. It's not that bad because you get like 6,000 or 7,000 Primo Gems a patch, which essentially just means every other patch you can pull for 5-star. And so if you've been doing that for a very, very long time, sure, like, and I mean obviously your luck greatly affects that. Like if you're free to play, only ever able to pull every other patch, and you lose your 50-50 every single time, then yeah, I can see why that would really suck. I've never had problems with quests. I heard the child thing was tough for people. I didn't have a huge issue with that. When Child first came out, we didn't have Zhongli at all. I don't think. I think Child was the first time on the banner. It depends on what you're looking for. Like for me, I like story-based games, so having quests be long is a good thing for me because I like the lore. I mean, Child was the only time I ever had an actual issue because like that was at the very, very beginning of the game. And then I did get Ganyu, and Ganyu made a lot of the early. Ganyu makes Child ridiculously easy. Ganyu makes Ignora pretty easy. Ganyu makes Dvalin super easy. So I had those characters. I can imagine if you didn't have them, that would be kind of sucky, especially having to do stuff. And I know that co-op is really hit and miss. Like you can run these things with co-op, but like. Especially right in the beginning of the game, no one understands what the fuck they're doing stupid things. That can be rough. And yeah, if you can't get the characters you want, or the characters you like don't really gel well with your particular playstyle, like, I can see why that would kind of suck. Like, typically I don't really like bow users, but I still got Ganyu anyway, because it was like, oh, well, even if you miss, it's still that AoE around it, so it's like, yeah. And then as I've been playing her, I've just gotten better at it. But, so I can get it. And then there is a lot of grinding too. Like I'm kind of a completionist, so like the grinding is not too like it doesn't like I have a friend who like just hates the artifact grinding. I didn't like because like obviously there was Amber at the beginning and no one wants her. She sucked. I hated her because she's so bad. She's with Bennett in the naughty corner. My 2 level 20s. I only got them to 20 and ascended them just because of the free wish you get. They are literally the only characters I have that were not level 90. Actually, no, I have some ones I'm in the process of building. She's not really good. Like her burst doesn't last that long. You need constellations to be able to even shoot her thing to explode it manually. And as a taunt, it's like, okay, whatever. And the taunt doesn't do damage, I don't think, when it lands. It only does damage when it explodes. Whereas like Ganyu's, for instance, does damage when you use it and gets you out of the way. So it's quick and easy to use. And then explodes again. While she also attacks from range and her charge shot is actually good. Okay, yeah, these are the 2 other characters I'm actually building. I'm close to. But yeah, like... So it definitely depends on your characters you get. Obviously some of it is luck too, because you gotta be lucky to get relatively good artifacts. So I can understand like why it can be rough. I don't have a Zhao at all. Pretty much. I mean, except until Navia and Jingyun came out, the characters I didn't get were fairly obvious. Yeah. Oh look, there's 6 characters I'm missing. I wonder what those 6 characters all have in common. The only guy character I've gotten I mean, I got Zhongli and Child at the beginning because like getting characters at the beginning is super useful. And Zhongli was like really good healer and an Archon. Child, I mean, Arataki Ito is one of them too, but Child, I wanted Diona. Diona looked really adorable, and I wanted to get her, and in the process of rolling for her, I got Child, so I was like, shit. Well, whatever. Oh, and Albedo, yeah. So I got those kind of back to back. Chi-Chi was my first 5-star, I think. Oh no, maybe Venti was. Maybe I pulled a Menti. $9.29. Oh, yeah, Xfinity was my first 5-star. Then I lost the 50-50 and got cheat sheet. But actually, no, I got Cha-Ching. I must have lost. I guess both of these are the same day. Anyway. But, yeah. And then after Albedo, I didn't really get any male characters at all. I missed the first Kazuha run, but he ended up being like, I heard lots of good things about him. Ends up being super useful and shit. So I ended up getting him on maybe a second or third run. I have her pretty built. I have a team specifically for her. I have her at 56 crit, 193 crit damage. Yeah, as you can see, his energy recharge I don't really need. Obviously, it can't be perfect. I got this for her. I have an Ayaka, which I could give that sword to, and I think that sword's supposedly Ayaka's best in slot, but goddamn, it looks good on Kaching. I use her in Dendro teams in what's my what is yeah, she's in aggravate teams. That's my Kaching team. I made a Hu Tao team, which actually works really well. Toma is really a really good pair with Hu Tao and Xingqiu obviously as well. I mean, Xingqiu and Kazuha are just good in lots of teams. So, but yeah, Toma and Hu Tao worked really well. Yeah, I made this team to explore the 4.4 area because that's when they released the skins. So I was like, okay, well, I want Ganyu and Shenhe in my team so I can admire their skins while I'm exploring. And so I quickly threw together party members that could work out well. That's my freeze team. And then I made a child team because I wanted to actually use him at some point. You haven't gone to Inazuma, I see. I mean, if you haven't gone to Inazuma and you've been playing since 3 months after the release, I mean, clearly you're not playing that much. And so, like, all gacha games kind of revolve around being able to log in all the time. Like, you have to log in every day, do your dailies, because that's how you get the free shit. Obviously, you get some from, like, exploring and stuff, but... Oh, okay. Oh, you are in Inazuma, okay. Which island, then? I thought you meant the island as in Inazuma as a whole. Oh, the Seirei... Wait, what's that? The Seirei Island one? The one that Raiden uses? This island? Because I know that this one is exclusive to Raiden. Oh! This one. The Ghost Island, I think. I don't... Oh, I see. So you need this rift piece? You need that to ascend him or something? Yeah, there's a... You unlock it with the side quest in Inazuma. I can't remember if there's... I can't remember what this... oh, the mushroom thing. The blue mushroom. Oops. This thing. I see. I forgot to use that. I had him leveled for a while. I see. Yeah, I think I can't remember what the prerequisite for it was. I do know that you accept the quest over here. On the docks around here, I think is where you get the quest. So maybe you haven't gone back to Rito or something, and you might be able to see the quest there. I believe that's where you get it initially. And then essentially he puts you in a boat, and he sends you directly to that island. I believe. But it's been a while. Like I did it when it was current, so like 2 or 3 years ago. Actually, no, 3 years ago. It's about like 2 years ago or so. But yeah, that's why it's kind of tough for me, because because I do these islands relatively on release. So like I don't know what the prerequisites are because I'm always like doing everything. So a new thing comes out, I can unlock it because I've done everything. So I've had times where like, I'm trying to explain to my friend like, oh yeah, you just go do this, and he's like, I can't do this because like this NPC is locked behind this or that or whatever. And I'm like, shit. Yeah, I wasn't aware of that because once the patch came out, the quest appeared on my little thingy. Yeah, I don't know if the quest automatically appears on this list. I think you actually have to go to the dock, and then it should be like a little, the blue exclamation mark quest thing. But yeah, I mean, someone just works well with Hu Tao just because he doesn't heal, which is good. So his shield is pretty sweet, and so he has a good shield. It replenishes it. It has the Did you do the Enkonomiya stuff yet? Enkonomiya is a lot of fun. I love the music in there. It's just so like quiet, somber. Yeah, I had that problem too when I first started. I mean, I guess it's better when you're current, because when you're current, like you just have one patch worth of stuff. It's like, oh yeah, you have one patch, so you just go do that patch. That's all you have to do. But like, there's just so much to explore that it's like, yeah, you could focus on the story and just do that, ignore the exploration. Yeah, you could do that, but like that's not as fun. And like I have a friend who also like, what they like to do is they like to do they actually like pull up one of the maps and actually like look up where every single chest is. So while they're exploring, they like will check off the chest, and so like go systematically through a map to find literally every single chest by checking the interactive map on a website. And I'm like, well, that's not fun. Like the whole point of doing it is it's like for the field of exploration. And so I mean, obviously, I'll definitely miss some chests because I'm not like going at it that hard, but I do 100% the regions. So like when I'm in here, you can see 100% all these golden 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%. I will do that at the very least, especially because they eventually, like if you get your reputation high enough, you get a compass. You can buy a recipe for a compass, and then that will help you find. And this is the only one. I've been really slacking on this. Too many games have come out. Like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth came out. Honkai Star Rail came out with their 2.0 Penacony stuff. Reverse 1 1999 has a lot more stuff. It's like so many things. So. And I know like this stuff is not going to go away. Like the quest will be there, the area will be there once I have some time to get around to exploring. I mean, it's not that bad too. Like well, I just unlocked this area, so it's 9%. But like 78% is not terrible. 63 is not horrible either. Oh, the Penacony stuff is really interesting. It's really amusing. I mean, that's why I kind of like how Genshin and Honkai Star Rail do things a little differently. So it's like, Genshin is a little more childish, but like not as a little more childish, a little more serious, but also kind of relaxed. Whereas Honkai Star Rail is really silly, and it's really just silly, really. It's like it's serious, but it's like not really serious in a way that you ever take that seriously. But it's like it has a lot of over-the-top elements and a silly, whimsical nature to how they do a lot of shit. So it makes it for a different experience, and I like them both. But yeah, 2.0 is really cool. The puzzles they have in it are really interesting. They're not crazy difficult, but they are amusing. And the exploration is pretty fun. Like, it's obviously not going to be like Genshin level, because obviously Genshin's a huge open world, and Honkai Star Rail is just on its map. But they've done a few interesting things with the maps to make them interesting, and the story itself is still pretty amusing. And it ended on a cliffhanger, so now I have to wait for 4.1 to see how it kind of continues. Oh. Talent. I leveled this, right? Yeah, I got more of these. I'm kind of on the fence with that, simply because I play Honkai Impact 3rd, and I know Honkai Impact 3rd got its part 2. I thought when they were doing a part 2, I thought it was going to be like drastically different. Like I thought they were going to be like, I thought it was going to be like a literal new game. They're like, yeah, we're creating a new game from scratch within that same universe. But what it ended up being is just like, oh no, it's not a new game from scratch. All it is just another, what they're just calling a new parts to the story with completely new characters. So it's like, yeah, you don't have to do any of the part 1 stuff. You can just start at part 2 and not feel like you're left behind in the story-wise, because it's completely new characters and a completely new world with not much reference so far, at the very least, to the previous story. And I'm like, oh, I was kind of getting a little bored of it, because like it's the combat in Honkai Impact 3rd has just gotten so over the top, and it's like it's crazy how much you kind of have to spend in a way. Like the like a 10 pull in Honkai Impact 3rd costs 2,800 crystals, and Honkai Star Rail and Genshin are both 1,600. So it's almost twice as much crystals for a 10 pull. And you might think, oh, well, they give you more crystals, right? Like, no, they give you the exact same amount. Throughout a patch, they give you the exact same amount, maybe less. It's hard to tell because they do things differently. But I do know that if you look at the store, if you go into the store and buy crystals, like the $100 pack gets you like 8,000 crystals in Genshin. Yeah. So, yeah, it's like so it's 8,080, right? Oh yeah, it's beefy too, because it's even older than Genshin. So even though it's not as big and open world and shit, it's still a beefy boy. So yeah, so you can see the crystals are like 8,080 crystals for $100. And you think, oh well, Honkai Impact 3rd, well, if you're going to pay twice as much for a 10 pull, clearly the top up is going to be better, right? No, the exact same number of crystals. $100 gets you 8,080. So it's like, great, awesome. So I have to pay almost twice as many crystals for a 110 pull. And crystals are worth the same as Genshin. So it's dumb. And then like for a Genshin character, you get this character, you're pretty much set. Like that's all you really need. Sure, getting their signature weapon would be cool. It looks the best on them, and it synergizes best with them. But like Eula, does well with this. But there are a lot of like 4-star options that are obviously weaker, but not that much worse. But Honkai Impact 3rd, you're completely like having her signature weapon might give her a 10% bonus in damage, maybe 20%, like 10 to 20, maybe depending on the character and weapon, and if they're like supposed to be a damager, DPSer, or a support. Whereas in like Honkai Impact 3rd, like getting their weapon and their equipment is like doubles or triples their damage. Like it's ridiculous how powerful, and because it's not just the weapon too. Like in Honkai Impact 3rd, you get their weapon, and then they have 3 armor slots, which are called stigmata. But like Genshin artifacts, they have set bonuses, and so they create these artifacts, these stigmata, specifically for the character. So each piece of equipment has its own inherent bonus, and then a set bonus, and it's a 2 and a 3-piece set. So essentially, once you have all 3 pieces, each equipment has its own unique effect, as well as you getting 2 bonuses for the set, the 2-piece set bonus and the 3-piece set bonus, and they all synergize perfectly for the character that you're buying them for. And then there's the weapon too, which has a weapon skill. So the free-to-play weapons suck, because usually they don't have a weapon skill. Usually they're much weaker in comparison. You can't level them up as much. Like for 5-star weapons in Honkai Impact 3rd, you can level them a step. You can get them max level, but then there's a way to use them as material to bring them another 10 levels stronger, with stronger passive effects on the weapon, which you can't do for the 4-star equivalents. So, and then the armor sets that they give for free are shit, because the passive effect on them are kind of shit. They're not really that good. And they don't release them in sets. So they don't have set bonuses. They just have their intrinsic effect, their unique effect. That doesn't necessarily synergize well with any one character. So they're kind of like generically good. It's kind of like playing Genshin with only 3-star weapons and 3-star artifacts. Like, that's kind of how it feels. So it's just like, it's rough. And like I saw this one thing earlier too, like people were tweeting about it when they were talking about how generous Honkai Star Rail was. They're like, oh, Honkai Star Rail's so good, it's just Genshin that sucks. Honkai Impact Third is much better. I'm like, dude, you clearly don't play Honkai Impact Third, because Honkai Impact Third is shitloads worse. Because they were like talking about generosity. It's like, yeah, you do get a lot of random shit from the events, and the events are fun. Like, they have a lot of little side events that are really fun, and they do give rewards for them. But the worth of those rewards is dog shit. Like, what you get from those rewards, like the value of them to like make your character stronger, improve your account, whatever, are terrible. Like, Genshin is much better. Like, Honkai Impact Third sucks the worst. Its monetization is the worst. Genshin gets better. Honkai Star Rail gets even better. So that's why I'm kind of... I kind of want to play Zenless Zone Zero, because, you know, clearly MiHoYo's on a trend. So if it keeps the trend, then Zenless Zone Zero should be even better than Honkai Star Rail, maybe. And with them starting from scratch, maybe, because like there's been a shitload of power creep in Honkai Impact Third, where it's just like they introduce new characters, they have, you know, unique effects for their weapons, they have unique synergies with other characters. So now you need like multiple characters with their own unique weapon and a decent an accompanying armor set. And then there's the pity too, is that when you want to get the weapon and armor set, it's 4 pieces, weapon and 3 pieces. So, and you're guaranteed to get one every 50 pulls. So with max hard pity, it's 200 pulls, and you're guaranteed to get the full set. That's 200 pulls, when every 10 pull is almost twice as much as Genshin. So 200 pulls, like Genshin only needs, Genshin only needs 90 pulls for a character. So you could guarantee a limited character in Genshin for 180 pulls with hard pity, assuming you have to get to 90, and then you lose your 50-50, and then you pull again. And so, like, it's mind-boggling. And then, of course, if you want to think about it, like, if you want to think about it from like, oh, well, what's the thought? If you want to think about it from like the limited banners, because it's a weapon, so it's like, okay, well, these are 80 pulls. So it's like, yeah, sure. If you have the shittiest luck of all and you have hard pity your weapon, yeah, sure, it takes you 240 pulls to guarantee you the weapon you want. You know, in this. So you could say that's worse, but it's also like, that's all you need, though. That's like, you're assuming you have the character, and all you need is 240 pulls. And that's 240 pulls at 1,600 a 10 pull. Whereas, so 240 pulls, or at 24 10 pulls. So you could say, oh, okay, 24 times 1,600. How does that compare to 20 times 2,800? Obviously, it's more. It's expensive in Honkai Impact Third. So even though you need less pulls, it costs more, so it's still more. So it's trash. I mean, the game is fun, the combat is fun, but yeah, like, there definitely is some power creep. Like, if you think some of the Genshin missions are hard, like some of the Honkai ones are ridiculously hard. There's like a lot of shit is timed, and a lot of like the bonus, like it's like Spiral Abyss. There's a lot of events like Spiral Abyss in that they are timed. Like, you have to do something on a timer, which means you have to have really good characters that synergize well with each other, have all their good equipment, and there's elements. So you want to have 3 party members that are all ice element, 3 party members that are all fire, 3 party members that are all electricity, 3 that are quantum, 3 that are imaginary, or you want them to at least synergize well like that. Or like, so you need more characters. Whereas Genshin, it's like, yeah, you can kind of build whoever the fuck you want. You just got to get some good characters. You only really need to build one if you have good supports. You can just bring them on the field to do their attack, but you can't really do that for Honkai Impact Third. That's why I'm kind of like getting a little bored of the game, because the story before Part 2 really kind of went off the walls. It was just kind of silly and didn't really matter that much. And I was like, okay, this is kind of getting boring a little bit. Like, just talking about a lot of crazy shit. So I'm curious. I'll play part 2 to see how that goes, but I might give it up after that. But I'll definitely give Zenless Zone Zero a try too. See how that feels. Now that they can completely start a game from scratch, how does the combat feel? Hopefully it's not as like some of the combinations in party members in Honkai Impact 3rd were crazy. It was like you start with their weapon skill, then do their charge attack, then swap to another character, have them do their burst, then their charge attack, then their weapon skill, then swap to the third character, have them do this, like these 3 actions in a row, and then start on your next one. So it's yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like, because it just power crap to where it's like, yeah, this became strong. Like, they added these new characters, they added these new effects. They added new effects, new weapons, new weapon types, new ways to synergize well with each other, and it's like, it's cool. Like playing it, like you can play it on a trial to like get used to it, and they give you an experience of like, oh, here's how this character should play, here's how they synergize, and it's fun and it looks cool, but it's just like, it's a really high skill ceiling, and it's just really, it's a really high skill ceiling for very little rewards, right? Like you're putting in like so much more effort into that game to get like the free rewards than you do in Genshin. Like Genshin, you just kind of log in every day, do your dailies, do whatever easy event there is, wander around the world exploring, which is easy in and of itself, like, and you get a lot of free stuff, and then you can pull on characters and have fun. But in Honkai Impact 3rd, it's like you have to really sweat it out for some of the rewards, and you have to do them like multiple times a week. So yeah, it gets daunting, it gets wearing, and then like when you're just getting so few rewards, where it's like, and after all that, it's like, cool, you finally have 10,000 crystals, and it's like, cool, that's 4 10 pulls. Cool, you didn't get a character you want? Yeah, because it's only 4 10 pulls, and the pity is still like 100 or something, like, or 90 or 100. So it's like, yeah, after all that work of like months of grinding, do you finally get nothing? And then it's like, that's just getting the character. It's like, cool, you got the character, but it's like, because like that guarantee of getting getting the weapon and their armor all at once, like back to back, is only when the banner is active. So once the banner goes away, you lose that guarantee. So it's just like, cool, you saved up all that shit, you spent 50, and you got maybe, hey, you got the weapon, cool, now you just need those 3 armor set. But you're out of gems. And then the banner goes away, and even if the banner comes back, it's not like it saved the fact that you got that weapon. So you could, when the banner comes back around, pull and get a weapon again, get the same weapon again. So it's like, it's kind of like it is kind of like the epitomized path of Genshin, because that pity does go away. So it's essentially like that, except you need to pull for 4 things instead of this. You just need 1. So it's a 1 in 3 chance of getting what you want done. Whereas in that game, it's like, no, you still have to kind of get to a pity. Like it's like it's just, overall it's worse. So Genshin definitely did improve, and I mean, adding that to the weapon banner definitely really helped as well. So if you're saying that Genshin kind of sucks and feels like shit to play free to play, like that game feels like shit free to play, because like it's just rough. Because like if you're free to play, you're weak. If you're weak, it's hard. Like because like some of the weekly shit you have to do for like for crystals are like timed battles against bosses, and timed battles against these 4 fights, and like the time battles against these 4 fights resets twice a week, so you have to do these 4 fights twice a week, and if you do well in it, you go up in rank. And so essentially at low ranks you get very few crystals, and as you get higher and higher rank you get more crystals for each bi-weekly run. So to actually make it kind of worth it, you need to be like max rank, or close to max rank, like and then you start getting decent amount. Where it's like, and by a decent amount, I mean like you get 500 crystals or something, like 3 to 500 crystals every other like twice a week. So it's like not even a 10 pull, not even half a 10 pull. So and then like and those fights are fucking tough because like the enemies are really fucking tanky. If you do not have like if you haven't like whaled at all, if you have shitty characters, you just can't do it in time, and you fail. And then you go down in rank. So essentially, if you fail, you go down in rank. If you succeed, you go up. So yeah, it's rough. So I don't think Zenless Zone Zero, from what I saw people playing, I don't think it's like that. But then again, it's also not out yet, so we'll see how the in-game systems are and how they develop the game. It seems a little more basic than Honkai, but Honkai Star Impact Third started out pretty basic too, and then they just slowly made characters more complex. I know there's elements in Zenless Zero. I'm actually really worried about the elements because I really don't want to kind of have like multiple ice characters built, multiple fire characters built. Like have a fire team, have an ice team, because then that means like you need these characters, you need to build them well, and if you don't have that team working well, then you're screwed. That's why like Genshin is pretty cool because it's all about it's not just about the elements the enemies have, but it's elements you have, and you can kind of mix and match, and you can find a team. You're given enough decent free characters so that you can easily, like with the few 5 stars you get from pulling, form a decent team that can do most content, and maybe only has hard time doing like the hardest of hard stuff. But so this game is definitely more relaxing. That's why I enjoy this and play this more. But Honkai Star Rail is also really cool. In fact, Honkai Star Rail is really fun and enjoyable, but it's just like there's not much to do. Like you can finish your dailies super quick, finish your weeklies all super quick. Like it takes even less time than Genshin to max out or to complete like the quote unquote required stuff for the week or the day. But anyway, that was a nice chat. I have to get back to work, so I'm going to go ahead and log out now. Yeah, I like exploring. That's why I kind of hold off on my exploration. That's why I'm like not too rushed about the exploration because I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll just do it whenever. And it's like it'll always be there. It's not like it's going away. As long as you can like get to the events to do them, then that's fine. But it was nice chatting. I'm usually on about this. Well, maybe I'm a little late. I was a little late today, but usually I'm on around this time every single day. So I walk on my treadmill while I do my Genshin dailies, and then I'll be playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth later tonight because I want to do that. I'm in Chapter 7. I explored 1/3 of Corel already, and now I'm just have to go up the mountain so I can get to the bottom part of it, and then do more exploration. But it was nice chatting. I will see you all next time. I also have a YouTube too, so I throw up all these VODs on YouTube under the same name. So like this one as well will be thrown to YouTube. So if you ever want to check out my shit, it's all there. I play Final Fantasy XIV, Genshin, Honkai Star Rail. I have my DLC. I did the DLC of Spider-Man Remastered and the entire playthrough of Miles Morales. So basically, these days, any game I play, I'll just stream it and throw the VODs on YouTube. So you can either watch that or catch me live. My Genshin dailies are pretty reliable. They're around lunchtime. What other games I play is kind of random, so it depends on my mood. But I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.